Hello, I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about how I bring emotion into my character journeys, or the journey of my characters in my books. Now, emotion is something that is extremely important and is crucial to the plot of the book, and is crucial to how you as writer will communicate your characters to your readers, essentially. What I like to do first of all is I like to give my characters very deep backgrounds. My characters always tend to have deep backgrounds, whether they're going to be a villain or a hero, antagonist, protagonist, whatever they're going to be, they always have extremely deep characters, because that is something that I feel is absolutely essential. I like to delve into their pasts. I explore their experiences and the relationships, and also any emotional baggage that they might carry. Now, I did this in my Dwellers series. If you look at the three main characters, obviously we have the Dwellers and then you have the three main characters who are the friends in the books. And when you look at all three of them, they each have very deep character backgrounds. And I did this because I thought it was interesting to bring up the challenge of them helping the Dwellers save their world, but at the same time dealing with all the baggage and emotions they had in their lives, whether it's parental issues, depression, societal issues. Obviously, they didn't have issues such as poverty, because the three teenagers were of quite a high socio-economic status. So it's very important to bring deep character backgrounds. You have to research each character. What would you like the character to represent? Who are they? What are their problems? Because one thing I've seen in some books that I've read most of my life is everything's perfect. The characters are perfect, their lives are perfect, but we don't like perfection. We want to see flaws. We want to see people with deep emotional flaws. So that's one thing. I also like to bring in internal conflict. Now, internal conflict can be quite interesting and also challenging for the writer. I like to create inner struggles and dilemmas for my characters. I like to showcase their emotions. I like to give them emotional depth. I like to bring out emotional turmoil as well. But then I like to see them grow throughout the emotional turmoil. A good example of this would be a character called Boise in my Dwellers series as well. The Dwellers series has a lot of emotional characters and emotional turmoil, but emotional growth and emotional maturity as well. But then at the same time, you can also have emotional regression. You can also weave emotion into the character via dialogue and their interactions. You can bring out emotions such as love, anger, fear, trepidation, depression. And when you bring out all these different dialogues and interactions, you can also bring out their emotions. So let's say you have one character who's a main character meeting another character for the first time. You can portray or show the emotions of the other character just by the use of language, the way they interact, and vice versa. So there's so many ways to play with writing, and there's so many ways to portray emotion. Now, I'm sure you've heard this over 1,000 times. You have to show, don't tell. You can convey emotions just by the use of descriptive language and actions to show how your characters feel. I believe that when you use more descriptive language and actions, rather than explicitly saying how they feel, you allow readers to connect better with the characters and the characters' emotional journey as well. Now, I believe in character arcs. I'm a big believer in character arcs. I believe that you have to show the progression or regression of a character. How did the character begin? How are they going? And you have to show the end of the character as well. A character doesn't always progress. a character could also regress. And I like to include examples of that in my books because I think as human beings we're so used to believing in progression and the goodness of people and how people are, and we will all turn a new leaf. But in reality, I like to portray a lot of reality in my books. Some people just regress. Some characters will regress as well. That's the beauty of it, and that's the beauty of writing, is creating all these different stories with different types of emotional development and letting the readers track how the character moves on throughout the story and what they are essentially by the end of the story. And I think that is the beauty of writing a series as well, because I'm working on 2 series at the moment. You get the start of the series where the characters are a certain way, and then you're midway through the series, and then by the end of the series you get a certain type of character. But that's the beauty of it. You go on a journey, on an emotional journey with the character. Now, I think most importantly, in terms of emotions, you have to allow the readers to have some empathy for the characters. If the readers are unable to connect with the characters or understand the characters or understand what they're feeling or the frustrations they're experiencing, then essentially you've lost the reader. So by weaving emotions into the story, you are allowing the reader to foster an emotional connection with the characters, and that is extremely important. That's how you get anybody hooked into a story or hooked into a book. And one thing I appreciate from people who've read my first ever series was from the reviews, the readers saying the characters were very rounded and they were very invested in quite a few of the characters, especially their journeys. Even if the journey didn't end well, they were still very invested in the whole thing. So I think for everyone who wants to write, it's of the utmost importance to practice and to get acquainted, very well acquainted with weaving emotion into the story and into the journey of the characters. Extremely crucial. Okay, until the next video, bye.